Hey man, how you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good, I'm good. That's a nice Christmas setup you got there.
Yeah. We just set it. I just set it up today. I thought it was fitting. It's December 1st, so yeah.
Yeah, right. That's awesome.
Yeah. So welcome to the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neal, and I'm joined by composer and sound designer Vaaal. Newest
Dude,
film, A Wounded Fawn, now on Shudder. It's very cool to have you. And what is this shirt, by the way? Ozzy's Dungeon.
it's from the latest VHS movie from Flying Lotus's segment in it, which was called Ozzy's Dungeon, I guess.
All right, well, I'm very interested. I'm gonna look this up after. So,
It's great.
how did you get involved in A Wounded Fawn?
Basically through Instagram, honestly. Had seen Travis's first movie, Girl on the Third Floor, and I really enjoyed that movie. So I just had to, reach out to him after I saw it with my praise and just let him know how much I liked it. And shortly thereafter, Jacob's Wife came out, even better movie, so became a big fan of his stuff, and we also became friends. And he liked my own artist music, which is pretty cinematic sounding, a lot like horror and sci-fi ish stuff. And once he had wrapped shooting for A Wounded Fawn, he reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to do the music, and that was one of the best days ever.
Is that how you? I mean, not the Instagram, but is that how usually you would do a movie? Or I don't know if you've done movies before, but the movie would be done and then you would see it and then you would do a score.
I think it depends. I've done 3 features, two of them movies and 1 documentary, and I'd say in a lot of those, I kind of started fairly early on in post, with those first rough edits and starting to figure out what the score should be, and as well as after reading the script, of course. I've done a couple of shorts where I've done music pieces before they've even started shooting, so they can have the option of potentially playing it on set to get into the mood and the vibe of the film. And I think there's many different ways you can go about it, and I'm a big fan of variation. So yeah.
So when you see A Wounded Fawn, it starts very different than it becomes. So does that change? So when you start watching it, do you get an idea right away like what kind of music you're going to use, and does that change then as you watch the movie?
That's a good question. Because the first rough edit that I saw of A Wounded Fawn, before I had started on any music, that first version was actually cut with my own artist music as temp music.
Oh, interesting.
So that gave me a pretty clear or fairly clear view of what the functionality of the music should be, and also how extreme I could go with the score. Obviously, this movie is pretty divided in different sections and moods, but the music is kind of something that, especially in the first, I don't know if you've seen the movie.
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
But already that first scene has one of the weirdest piece of music that I've ever written. And it kind of, it's supposed to give a little pre-taste of what's to come in the second half.
Yeah, it really sets up the whole movie, and especially the ending of the movie. They really, the bookends of the movie, the beginning, foreshadows the end. So it's good to have right away, even when I'm starting to watch the movie for the first time, and it seemed you would think an auction setting, maybe this is just a typical movie, but there's something off about it right away. And the music.
Yeah. I really love that scene. And temp track of mine that Travis used in that first edit had kind of a similar vibe, and I just wanted to take that even further and see if we could, inject some primal feeling into that auction, because it's a battle, and it can be an auction scene can definitely be scored as a battle, between different people's wills.
Mm-hmm. How hands-on is Travis when you're developing the score? Like, does he like, oh, I want something specific for this scene, or does he kind of let you, do what you want?
I'd say a little bit of both. The first couple of months while I was working on the movie, I was doing a lot on my own and sending him cues and like together with the scenes and stuff. And then once we got closer to the first deadline for the festival version of the movie, Travis actually came here to my studio almost every day for I don't know, 3-4 weeks straight. Wow. And so we could work much quicker. I could get him to sign off and stuff, and we could talk and get into it more and more, of the specificities of the scenes, and I actually even got Travis to like play some like violin and weird like string instruments on it as well, and just make noise in general. So that was a lot of fun. So that's how hands-on he was. That actually played on the score itself.
Yeah. Like, speaking of the different instruments in it, I like near the end when they're out in the woods and stuff. There's like some drums and has a really gives a completely different feel. What are some of the weirder instruments you've used on this particular score, or in any score that or maybe a non-instrument that you've used?
I'd say that this score is definitely like as weird as it gets so far for me. I'm still aiming at getting even weirder. Like, I love weird music, weird instruments, and just unconventional things in art like that. I build a lot of my own instruments. One really important instrument, I got it right here actually. Here, as you can see, so this is the evil Gurkha by Vaaal. It has a little microphone inside of it. You can see that's where the cable comes out, and you actually use a violin bow to kind of bow the
this is wild.
brass strips, and you can get all kinds of nasty sounds out of it. And that was something that I used a lot in my first solo album as Vaaal. And so it only felt natural to bring that instrument with me into this new movie and see what even more sounds that I could get out of it. So that's a really important one. I used a conch shell.
Oh, well, I'm on Cape Cod, so the conch shells are all around here. Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of like the kind of horns and brass sounds throughout the movie is this like.
It's very Lord of the Flies, yeah, with the conch.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, it's just got such a cool, like, weird primal sound to it. Wait, let me turn off the sound.
Really fits in with the themes of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I also took an acoustic drum set and I modified it, and can actually show you real quick here. Let's see if I can just flip the camera around like that. So it looks a bit messy right now. So I actually took the drum heads off of some of the drums to make it more of a like wooden percussive sound, and played that in a bunch of weird ways. And that was the main like percussive staple of the movie, together with a lot of weird FX symbols and stuff like that.
Yeah, something like the conch shell.
Like,
with the like some of the conch show, when you're just walking around like on the beach or in the woods, you just see stuff and think, hey, I wonder how this would sound.
Basically, I mean, this particular conch shell was actually I bought it online.
Oh, okay.
From a person who's good at, because you gotta saw off the tip, the little spiky tip.
Yeah,
because that's where you blow. So, yeah, but I'm definitely, constantly looking for new sounds and instruments, and I record a lot on my phone, my voice memos, and I take that further and I run it through my synthesizers or the computer or whatever is appropriate for the moment.
Yeah.
And it's just fun to experiment with, and that's how you get interesting, hopefully.
Yeah, no, that's really wild. Now, there's a lot of use of red in a Wounded Fawn. Do you have any sound cues when the red shows up in the movie?
Yes, definitely. There is a specific cue that's recurring throughout the movie. From the first time that we see the red owl, and that's probably one of the more melodic cues, and it has this strange feeling of it's kind of seductive in a way, hypnotic, and a bit beautiful, but also very unnerving, and that became a very important staple in the movie, that actual cue. And it was composed on an old Moog synthesizer from the early 80s, which I then overdubbed with some brass players, people that can actually play brass, that don't do the conch shell.
Yeah.
And it just gave it this vibe that felt really fitting, and to me that cue sounds very red.
I in my notes I thought it was a weird question, but what sound would be red? So answered that. Yeah. Now, I saw it first time at the festival at Fright Fest in London. Did you ever get to see it with an audience? Because I do think one thing people overlook about the audience, of course, you think about the big screen, but also the sound is all around you, and that really adds to the feel of a movie.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's been a great festival season. I went to Tribeca, Fantastic Fest in Austin, Beyond Fest, and one more that I can't remember now. But yeah, seeing the movie together with an audience after working on it for almost 6 months was so important, and hearing it in that type of space. So after the first festival, when it had premiered at Tribeca, I ended up seeing it twice at the festival in 2 different movie theaters, and we actually went back into the studio after Tribeca and adjusted some of the stuff in the cues, and then also did a new mix, a new color of the movie. So that was really interesting, because it's hard to compare seeing a movie in your studio on your computer versus in an actual movie theater with people that don't know anything about the movie.
Yeah. That's the best way to go into a movie, if possible, not to know much about it.
Yeah, definitely, right? And you learn so much from that, and from talking to the people that saw it, and so that was really cool.
Yeah. So Wounded Fawn on Shudder. I thought it was great. It's definitely one of the best movies of the year, and I think it's been a good year for horror. So I think that's high praise. And
it's been a great year for horror, right? Yeah, so much.
A lot of great stuff.
So thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah, you're welcome. And thanks for doing the show. And you check out the movie, and also check out your other work, because I was listening to some on YouTube, like the you have a Nosferatu thing, which was very cool. And I'm going to check out more stuff.
Yeah, please. Yeah, my albums are all over on all the streaming services, and yeah.
Yeah, just look up Vaaal with three A's.
Exactly. Yeah, VAAL.
Yeah.
The score for A Wounded Fawn is on streaming today as well. So.
Oh, it is. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Right, very good. Well, I enjoyed the movie and talking to you, and hope to do it again sometime.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks, Neal. Bye.
Bye.
Emma's an aspiring actress, working in a cafe called My Aquario. She got a face tattoo on a social dump, disposed of the barrio. And by the time she turned 20, she'd been hired to ghostwrite the autobiography of Frozen Rain. She went through so many insomniac boyfriends, and all of them surrendered to themselves just the same. So she said love isn't fun, and love isn't free, and no one in the universe will ever love me. I said, pain of ages, oh no. I can hear you, all wrapped in your linens, yeah, I know. Pain of ages, so now she's sleeping in a hut in the country, working in a city building steel guitar pride, and see her smoking a cigar on the old back porch, and all smiling and triple fried. Oh, she gets way to know lovers know it isn't for her, and she will never feel sorry for herself anymore. She just watches Evil Dead 2 on DVD and builds small clay models of the earth in her core. She's into igneous rocks, she likes 70 socks. Ooh, her friends all took care of her when she got chicken pox. I said, love of ages, oh yeah. I can hear you, all crushing your pillows, yeah, I know. Love of ages, go on up. Let me just say love of ages now. Love of ages, oh yeah. Well, I said that I'm doing the best I can. Oh, I can hear you. And all wrapped in your linens, yeah, I know. Love of ages. Let's go, let's go. Love of ages. I can hear you.